This AFC East rival just gave the Patriots a massive gift. Let's talk about it. My name is Aaron on the Daily Patriots content. Don't miss out. All you got to do is subscribe, notification bell, and hit the like button. Quicker you hit that like button, the quicker I shave this beard off. That, as a teacher, summer's here. Every 5-6 days, maybe I shave. I don't know. I forget what day it is. Hanging out with the kids, having a good time, going to the beach. Can't complain. But anyways, that's beside the point. Today, what we're talking about, the Buffalo Bills are still in contract negotiations, or some may even say, I don't even know what the heck they're doing if they are negotiating with James Cook. Now, I'm going to jump into a second why this is a huge deal and why this is great for the Patriots. But right now, as it goes, James Cook, first 8 days of training camp, everything was great. I'm assuming in his heart of hearts, he assumed that the Bills organization, as well as him, they want to work things out. They want him to stay. He wants to stay in Buffalo. But after 8 days, this past Sunday, he decided to do a hold in. Hold in. There's a difference between hold out, hold in. Hold out, you're not even there. You're not present. You're probably out in Vegas doing something, I'm assuming, if you're Dennis Rodman type. Anyone else, maybe, I don't know, hanging out with their family. But hold in, you're there. You're just not participating. You're present. You're probably standoffish until negotiations are finalized. And so, again, him participating in these first 8 days of training camp, I think he assumed, hey, the Bills, I'm gonna assume they have the best intent in giving me this extension. They've already given multiple other teammates from that same draft class extensions, so he is next. But the issue is this: the man wants $15 million a year, which again, what is James Cook? What's his value to the Bills? And so if you look at that, he would be one of the top 3 highest paid running backs. Derrick Henry right now is getting paid about $15 million a year. And to give you a comparable, you got Kyren Williams, who plays for the Rams. Here are the stats right here. I'm going to move my mug right here so you guys can see. But here are the stats right here. And if you look at right now, a lot of similarities between the two. And Kyren Williams just signed a 3-year, $33 million contract with the Rams. So, again, we can be very nitpicky, but when it comes down to it, in the past 3 years, both guys have rushed about 1,600 yards in that area. You could argue, obviously, James Cook has 400 more receiving yards, but touchdowns, I mean, Kyren Williams, he has 31 total in rushing and receiving. And so, again, the Bills are probably looking at this and they're like, okay, this guy, Williams, same draft class, very similar stats. Like it's like when you sell a house. If you sell a house and you literally almost I'm not saying they're carbon copy. I'm not saying that, but we have to do comparables. And so you look at that, if you're trying to sell a house and there's something that's comparable to yours, it just sold, you have to realistically, unless people are just going to be willing to overpay, which sometimes that can happen, you never know. But I think that's what the Bills are looking at. And James Cook and his agent, their feet are firmly set in the ground and saying, this is what we want. So we're going to see what happens. But why this is great for the Patriots is twofold. First being, the longer James Cook isn't in there, the more controversy there is in the Bills. And listen, they just want to get this settled. They want to get this figured out. But the longer they wait, the more frustrating it's going to become. And guess what? Who's their number one is Ray Davis. And I'm going to tell you right now, Ray Davis is not him. He is not the guy. And so especially with a team like the Patriots, who have a revamped defense, in a big culture shift and ready to go dominate and prove people wrong, if Ray Davis is the guy moving forward because they haven't figured this out, it is going to be a massive gift. But also just the fact that, hey, James Cook isn't practicing, that is not a bad thing. That is a good thing for the Patriots. Again, tensions between him and the organization are only good for their rivals just because he's not on the field, he's not participating, he's not practicing. They're trying to get this figured out. Sorry, I got a cold. And so when it comes down to it, you got to do what you got to do. So comment below. Tell me what you think. I don't know how the heck you get a cold in August, but gosh, I got one. So anyways, tell me what you think. Is he asking for too much money? Is Kyren Williams and his contract comparable? Do you think that's reasonable that the Bills want probably something like that as opposed to 15 mil? I think it is. But again, Ray Davis, if he's the guy moving forward because they can't figure any of this stuff out, it's only a gift for us. And there's also been trade rumors circulating, which again, I don't see that happening. I'd be incredibly surprised, but this is only good for the Patriots. What do you think? Comment below. Next up, tomorrow, big game against the Commies. What to watch for? What are the big things that we need to be watching for as Patriots fans? Let me move my mug over here. Should I put it right on variable? No. What should we be looking for? I think the biggest thing that I'm going to be looking for, taking notes on, is the wide receiver play. This is the opportunity for the likes of Javon Baker, Jalen Polk, Efton Chisholm III, to really go out there and prove themselves. Because those are the big three right now where it's like, okay, what's going to happen? And everyone out there knows this. If Efton Chisholm is dropped by this team, hoping to get him back on he clears waivers and we can put him on the practice squad. That's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. I honestly would be surprised if it happened with any of these players. I don't think it will. But definitely Efton Chisholm, he was very sought after when he was not drafted. The Broncos really wanted him. And in all honesty, I definitely think, and we've talked about this before, I'm very confident he could have made the Broncos 53-man roster. And I think he can make the Patriots. But I think the Broncos have somewhat of a similar situation at wide receiver where you have a handful of proven wide receivers. And then besides that, you're just kind of like, okay, what do we got? So with this, we need to see what's that going to look like. And specifically, when we look ahead to the 53-man roster, typically you see teams keep anywhere from 5 to 7. 6 is really that sweet spot at wide receiver, but 5 to 7. But the question becomes, would the Patriots be willing to keep more? I don't think you want to do that, especially when you look at an offensive line last year that struggled, especially with injury and different situations. I feel like it's not ideal just to carry another person. So we'll see. But wide receivers, and apparently Baker's been doing really well in training camp. So we'll see what that looks like. Next up, O-line, I think in a similar lens. I think we have an idea what the starting line is going to be like, but what is the depth going to look like? And we're going to see a lot of that. And so how is this new look offensive line, for the most part, obviously, going to look and hold up against the commies? I almost said Commanders. You're like, Aaron, you know better. Say commies. Joke. Obviously, it's a joke. Last but not least, kicking game. Parker Romo, and we got Borregales. But I think Borregales has it, but I'm just interested to watch it. I'm excited for Borregales. So tell me what you think. Comment below. James Cook, tell me what you think about that situation. Good for the Patriots as well moving forward. What do you think about the game tomorrow? What are you most excited about tomorrow? Let's hear it. We'll talk later. Peace.